Hello friends and welcome. I'm Sarah Liz and I have two emergency cards for you today using some older kits that I just love. The first is 71. It's got Lighthouse, Home, Silly Birds, Walruses, Sea Hags, all the best things. And then kit 77, which was just an add-on to the official Water Critter kit. And it has some large format circle sentiments. So we're going to start with our background. I'm using some of this Ombre paper from scrapbook.com. I prefer the A2 on this one. Normally I get their larger paper pads, but in the larger one, that ombre or the pattern is sort of spread out even more, so you don't get as much color on your A2 panel. So I like the small one here. And then I'm using the Celebration Bubbles stamp from Hero Arts. And instead of using Versamark ink, I thought I would try using my white shimmer ink. I love this stuff, but I'll be honest, you can't really tell. And so we're going to pivot a stamping through. So I'm stamping down with that ink, and actually I stamped it twice and I'm looking at it and I'm like, you can barely see it. I was so sad. So it is a pigment ink. I've got time. I was originally just going to put some clear embossing powder on there, but instead I'm using Icicle's embossing powder from Pink and Maine. It's clear, but it has some glitter in it. Not a ton. It's not going to be a glitter bomb, but you're going to get that little bit of sparkle and shine every here and there. And I love that. So we're going to be able to catch that up when it hits the light just right without it being an overpowering pattern. You'll see it better in a little bit. I actually didn't have my lights all the way up yet. I don't know what I was thinking, but I'll fix it. So this is kit 77. It's 2 pages. You get 6 sentiments in 3-inch circles. And this one says it's time to celebrate. And we're going to add a whole bunch of seashells. This is the Sophisticated Shells die set from Hero Arts. This is newish, and it makes just a ton of different seashells. I love that they stack up pretty neatly. I'm not even going to do any ink blending. I just thought these were super fun. I love the bold graphic style of them, and they all come together really easily. This is the only shell I'm using that has 3 layers, and I think it's my favorite. I think it's because the shell is sort of polka dotted. Like, I knew what color these were supposed to be, sort of, but in the end, I didn't want to do a bunch of browns. I was like, let's pick some tone on tone and do something a little fun and vibrant, a little bit interesting. And it's just 1 layer on top of the other. Can I tell you, I live in the landlockedest state in the United States. Like, it is right in the middle, and I love the ocean, and it is so hard for me to leave the ocean every time I see it. I go every summer. The family goes down to Mexico, and we could go explore the town that we're staying in. It's a lovely little town, but we don't. We used to years ago, and now it's like I don't want to leave the beach. Like, you cannot get me off the beach. So I am going to take all my little seashells here, and I'm going to layer them onto my It's Time to Celebrate. So I cut out the pattern paper that has our sentiment with my 3-inch circle, and then I have a 3¼ inch circle of some navy cardstock right behind it. And then here, I had everything arranged the way I wanted it to, and I didn't dare pick it up. I'm in that stage of summer. Like, I go back to work in 2 days. And I'm in that stage of summer where I cannot hold another thing in my head. There's no way I would have remembered what went where, what was overlapping. Oh my goodness. So that seemed like my best option. I went to add this onto my panel, and I wanted to bring out that pattern a little bit more towards the bottom. So I'm bringing in a medium tone of a sort of reddish purple ink, and you can see that pattern emerge even more. Also, I remembered that I hadn't had my lights all the way up, so I fixed that. It does wonders. I wanted to add a little border around the outside, so I'm using the Perfect Touch rectangles, and I used the largest and then the third from largest, and I nested them together, and I'm going to glue my pattern paper onto that. I trimmed it down to 4 by 5¼ and you'll see in just a moment why I cut that center out. We're going to make this move. So our celebrate is going to do a little like wiggle dance on our card. I am using the brand new Snap and Slides from Pear Blossom Press. I used them for the first time a video or 2 ago. I think I was using kit 77, and I'm in love. Like, I'm obsessed with these. You can use a standard hole punch to use these, but I would have needed to do that before I adhered it onto that navy panel because it was too thick. Like my hole punch didn't reach in far enough. So I used a 1/4 inch die. And then I have this other die. It's like a little hole reinforcer. This is a Trinity Stamps die set that's intended to work really, really well with the snap and slides. It's called Slide and Spin. It's great for interactive cards. I might do a video with it coming up. But to install this, you just snap the two pieces together through the hole. So I'm going to start actually by putting a Zot on one side. It's like a glue dot, but I happen to like this brand a little better. And so I am just pressing that on there and picking it up. And then I'm going to seat it into that hole so I can get my placement right. I want my circle to have similar margins on both sides, and then to be careful of my margin on the top. I don't want it to sit too high up on the card. Once I get it where I want it, I will press it down onto that circle and it's adhesive, flip it over, and then I just press the other half and it snaps on, and it's amazing. I have found I have to kind of loosen it up once it's sort of all snapped together, but once I do, it spins or dances or whatever you want to call it so much better than any other method I've ever used to do this. So on the back, I'm adding it back in a bunch of the paper that I had cut away when I nested my two dies together because everything warped a little bit when I ran it through my die cutting machine. And so this will just straighten that out a little bit. I was careful to leave plenty of room around that disc. I don't want anything to impede that movement, but I did add then foam tape all the way around the outside edge and then pretty much everywhere that I added that navy cardstock. I'm going to add that onto my card base. I'm being careful to line things up at the top where the fold of my card is, but other than that, I know I can trim things away if it's a little cattywampus, so I don't really worry too much about the rest of it. I wanted to put a sub-sentiment down at the bottom of my card, but the word die I'd picked out just looked kind of plain down there, so we're going to make some bubbles. I have some white shimmer cardstock, and I'm coming in with purple, teal, and pink and some big fluffy brushes. So even though I have medium toned inks, I can get a really light color and a nice blend. And then I brought in some punches. You could absolutely use dies for this. I wish I'd used dies. The edges would have looked a little bit nicer, but I didn't have the patience for it. I knew I had to pick up my kids from school. So I have 3/8 of an inch, 1/2 an inch, and 3/4 of an inch. And once I get those all cut out, I'm going to go ahead and use a white gel pen and just put a little like shine mark at one edge of each of these bubbles. I'm using then the word congrats, and this comes from the Peace Words dies, and there's a whole bunch of words on here. Peace, love, hugs, congrats, prayers, and the word and or an ampersand, right? And I am just going to create a little drop shadow. So I am gluing my blue, navy blue congrats sort of up and to the right of my shimmer white cardstock. I actually thought the white was going to go on top first, but I liked the blue better. Normally I do down and to the left. I'm not sure how I ended up with this drop shadow, but here we are. And then I'm just creating little clusters of bubbles. So I have a cluster of 3 on one side, 5 on the other, then 3 more bubbles. And I'll start by laying all of those down. I'm just picking them up one at a time and adding glue underneath. And then where I have some big clusters, I'm going to do my best to move as little as possible, or just to stick the tip of my glue bottle underneath things so that I know my word is going to fit right on top of all of those. I wanted one bubble in the corner of our ombre paper, so I just brought in a different piece of cardstock that had a right angle and sort of trimmed the bubble around that one. And I'll add in a few more then in the corner and around our little clusters to make it look like they're sort of bubbling outwards. Then I can go ahead and add the word congrats. So we have this lovely ombre background that's got a little bit of sparkle, a little bit of tone on tone. Then we have our celebrate that rocks back and forth. It's like a little party in there. And we have our congrats on a nest of bubbles, my friends. That finishes up card number 1. I love him so much. I hope you'll give this a try. For card number 2, we're going to create an ombre background of our own, right? So if you don't have that pattern paper that we used in the first card, you can do something similar here. And I am just using like some yellow ink and some pink ink, and I'm being really careful to leave some white spaces. I really wanted this to feel light and bright, and so I should have started with my yellow. I forget that sometimes. I don't ever want to pick up pink ink with my yellow brush or contaminate my yellow pad, but in the end, it worked out just fine. To add some extra interest, I'm using the script text Better Press plate from Spellbinders, and I'm inking it up with just a dye ink. This is a dark brown dye ink that leans a little bit gray, and I love how this turned out. Then we're going to use the Message in a Bottle die set from Hero Arts. My friends, if you're watching this video like as it comes out, Hero Arts is running one of those sales. It's like $25 off, I think $125, but that's essentially 20% off site-wide. And if you're looking at newer products or anything that came out this summer, which is some of my favorites, or if you're looking for Spellbinders' new cardstock collection, you can get all of that in this sale on sale. And I just bought a bunch of their cardstock and it wasn't 20% off. It was on a different sale. So I'm kind of kicking myself. Anyway, I added a little blue ink to the edges of the bottle and the tops of the bottle just to make it look a little more rounded. And then I'm putting together our scroll. I added more ink on the back layer than on the front layer. And then this is a little bit of sand that you can put in the bottle, or you guys, I'm going to have another video with this bottle coming up, but we're going to turn it into like a bottle of rum with like a little poison label on it. Oh my God, we're going to do like a whole pirate video, I think. It's coming. It's coming. So I added ink to either side of the cork and then the sand for our bottle. And I'm just coming in with 2 lighter brown markers and adding some dots. They look pretty dark here, but that's because the ink is wet. It's going to dry back and look more like sand. I think Hero Arts has, they used to have, I think they still have an embossing powder that looks like sand. It is amazing. I thought I had some, I couldn't find it. If it's still available, I will link it below. You should check it out. It's really, really cool. But just, again, a little lighter in the light areas and then a little darker just in this sort of corner down and to the right. And I think that adds a lot of texture and dimension, even though it's super flat. To finish my assembly here, there is a small piece that goes on top of the cork, and I used the same craft cardstock, but I just used whatever ink was left on my blending brush to darken that up. And then I'm going to lay the sand inside. There's going to be a little border all the way around, right, on the sides and on the bottom. And then this piece creates that lip that's around the neck of the bottle. And so I'm going to add this at the top. Then I'll add my cork. And then there's one more piece that is the part that's sort of in front, right? So that lip would go all the way around. So we need some in back and then we need some in the front. When I'm working with small pieces like this and they need to go somewhere really specific, sometimes it's easier to use a pair of reverse tweezers. I wish I had waited to put this scroll in the bottle because I didn't know which direction it was going to go on my card. Actually, fun fact, I assembled the bottle and the scroll about 2 weeks before I finished the card. And so, I mean, I truly had no idea what the layout was going to look like. I think in the end, it wasn't until the card was done that I was looking at it going, oh, well, maybe I could have leaned the scroll the other way, or there's lots of ways to play with it, but make sure you know kind of how you're going to put that on your card. When it comes to those 2 ties around the neck of the bottle, one is smaller than the other. I have assembled this bottle twice and I didn't know the first time and I forgot the second time. So just, you know, things to be aware of. I have another of the largest Perfect Touch rectangles. I just really love that pierced detail that's around the outside edge. So I'll use that, and then I've cut down our ink blended piece to 4 by 5.25. To add an extra pop of color, I'm bringing in one of the flowers that comes in that same die set. And I am just putting 2 of the leaves on there, and this one's kind of wonky. Honestly, normally I try to get my leaves so they're coming out from between 2 petals, but they're so big that I ended up moving it, right? I just had to play around with it until it looked right for me. And then I'll have that all as a single piece to add onto my card. That's really useful because the bottle is popped up on 1mm foam, And so I need part of the flower popped up, mostly the leaves, and that's easier to do when the whole thing is one piece instead of trying to add it one small die cut at a time. For the center of my flower, I'm bringing in these Aura Opalescent sequins from Spellbinders. I love these. They make the most beautiful subtle shakers, and it is a flat back sequin. There's no hole in it. For our sentiment, we're using Kit 71 Lighthouse and Home. And so I'm using just the strip sentiments. I like to trim this so that I can see the tick marks on either side. And then I just line those up on the blade of my trimmer, and I know they'll be perfect every time. Everything will be straight. I didn't have to eyeball anything. We're going to use the one that says you can weather any storm. I love that this bottle looks like it maybe has been through a storm, right? We've got that sort of aged look to our paper. I trimmed off either side until they matched. I used the finger guard on my trimmer to try to get those even. And then I'm just using whatever ink is left over on my blue and pink brushes and coming in from either side. So we get sort of a different look to our sentiment as well. I stacked up one extra piece of white cardstock behind the sentiment just to give it a little bit of height, make it feel a little more important. And then my gold cardstock is 3/8 of an inch. And the brown cardstock is narrower than that, but bigger than 1/4 inch. We would have to talk 1/16 of inches. I just made it a little bigger than 1/4 inch, but not 3/8. I wanted that sort of dark contrast. So it's the same color as we'll have around the outside edge of our card. And I like that it ties that together as well. So then when I put it on that 3/8 of an inch strip, you can still see the gold, but we get all of the things that I wanted. It just feels like a very fancy sentiment now. I have 2 layers of 1mm foam tape on the left side just to pop that up, make everything flat and even, and that will finish up card number 2. My friends, I hope this was inspiring for you. I would love to know which of these 2 cards is your favorite. If you're interested in the free printables, I will link back to those videos in the description box below where you can get all the details on how to download them and use them on all your card projects. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I will see you next time.